I'm not entirely sure what Keir Starmer was playing out the other day. We obviously already covered the press conference itself. It goes to show the quality of the leadership right now, especially those who surround them as well. I'll put the ministers to one side for a second. If you're the Prime Minister and you bring these people into your team, they better know what the hell they're doing. And it seems to me they have no clue. In particular, when it came to the mandelson situation, put aside what he knew and what he didn't know. It's more about what actually happened during these meetings. So these advisors who come and talk to him and give him the kind of things you need to expect, whether they're spin doctors, people who worked in think tanks, whatever it might be. You'd have thought that someone like Starmer was actually a pretty smart guy. Doesn't seem smart at all based on this, but he was a smart guy. And being a lawyer, he would know a little bit more how to handle the situation. So the reason why it's come out swinging defending is because of how stupid it was that decision made in the first place, based on the advice he got. So put yourselves in his shoes. You're in that meeting room with all these guys, and you're told Mandelson would be a pretty good pick to be ambassador to the United States. Now, put aside his qualities and what he can bring to the table. It's about the association of Epstein. Now, you've been told by the intelligence agencies that this guy is a bit of a creep. All right? He's dodgy. We can't trust him. There are big question marks about potential links, not just to Epstein, of course, to other governments across the entire globe. Maybe selling secrets. We don't know. So you can't trust that guy. Unless you're 100% sure and you've been given facts that indicate this man is not a threat to national security, then you can understand why you would appoint him and why you would make that appointment yourself. That didn't happen here. So what the hell are these advisors telling Starmer exactly? Like I said, he should be smart to say, you know what, I appreciate your advice, guys, but I think you're all stupid if you think I'm going to go ahead of this. But nevertheless, he did. That doesn't make any sense at all, why they even let this guy in. Is it because you wanted somebody to bring in because there's no one else out there, maybe? That could be one possibility. But anybody than Mandelson would have been a better choice, right? A giant turd would have been a better choice than Mandelson. The turd would have done nothing, might stink. But that stink would not get you the sack right now from your own party, the way things are going. Right? You just move that stink to one side, bring something else in, maybe to freshen up things. But Mandelson is not the one that's going to get rid of that stink from the party. You brought this guy in and you accepted it and said, well, if these things are actually on the table regarding his connections with Epstein, that is one issue to one side. But then he's still talking to the guy afterwards? What in God's name were they thinking if they thought this was actually a good idea? That's the biggest question about this whole thing. I'm not saying you should ignore the victims of Epstein, what Mandelson may have done himself. That's obviously still being looked at, and police have obviously raided two of his homes, from what I read. But the question marks about the quality of leadership is, it's different if they were hiding it from you, and there's actual evidence of this. And also, the intelligence agency is not doing their job. That's perfectly understandable why you would actually make decisions you did at the time. But you were told this. So there's a piece of paper in front of you that says, a piece of paper like my tax, Inland Revenue chasing me for more tax, right? A paper that's like saying to you, this guy is a problem, right? Written in blood as well, with someone actually doing this with their finger, writing in blood. This guy's a problem. Don't take it. Don't bring him in. Don't bring him to our circle at all. Any one of us, ordinary people, out there thought, nah, you know what, I think I'll pass on this Mandelson guy. But him at Starmer doing that? You know, someone like Boris Johnson thought, you know, don't, we'll cover up, we'll get away with it. That's what Boris Johnson would have done, right? But even Keir Starmer's doing that as well. I mean, who the hell can you trust? Even if we're bringing like a Farage or Polanski's got no chance, but let's say Polanski's on, there's always going to end up something that's going to come up behind the scenes that's going to occur. The other thing you'll notice as well, the difference between the Labour and the Tories here, the reason why this hasn't actually accelerated the same way as, let's say, Cakegate did, is because the messages, the WhatsApp messages being leaked out, the media got all the details behind the scenes very quickly. Pictures, the lot, right? The one thing they've done here is try and sweep under the rug. Of course, eventually it will be exposed at some point. And, you know, we might hear, you know, soon enough messages, you know, stories about how WhatsApp messages have been deleted from public record, all these other things happening that are going to cause a bit bigger of a stir. And of course, if there's an inquiry here, which I don't want to have a public inquiry, it's a waste of money, right? Leave it to the police, intelligence agencies, get some committee on it, and that'll be enough, right? because he's finished regardless. He'll be finished by the next election, or he's finished now. Now, one other note to add on top of this, the Daily Telegraph have come out with an article. Yes, they have. And, oh, jeez, Christ, a bright screen. That's the consequence of having a large monitor and nothing but a white background. I wish that they put like an option for a dark background because it's quite late today. Rayner coup will trigger election, Starmer allies warn rebels. Now, the reason why I mentioned it in my previous video, if you watched it, I said the reason why Starmer's not out yet is because they've got no one to replace him. There's not enough brain cells, with all respect to Angela Rayner, right? I'm not criticising her intelligence, I'm saying there's not enough brain cells in the head of hers. I'm not the most intelligent guy around. I've got more brain cells than her to figure out what to do from this moment. You'll come with a new campaign slogan. You've got to come out of basically being in campaign mode again, like Starmer's been for the last year or so. Come out and say things are going to be right for the country. You were there at the time when this all started, right? And they would become prime minister. Well, you have to trigger an actual general election because people are not going to accept this. Just the same way we saw the Tories when Rishi Sunak became prime minister. Also goes on that because they warned us, say you need to get a mandate from the British public because you weren't actually the one running the show, so to speak. It does say one Labour figure who has served on circuits from bench told the Telegraph, quote, presumably Angela Rayner, if she got elected, would have a complete different agenda. If you come with a complete different agenda, then the country legitimately says, we didn't vote for this. Exactly. Because if you come in and just do the status quo, people are thinking, why have you get rid of Starmer in the first place? You only got rid of him because he's obviously, too toxic now because of what's happened with Mandelson. And it goes on. So what are the grounds for refusing a general election? You can claim constitutional grounds, but in the world of frenzied media of TikTok, YouTube, and GB News, I put that one on there as well. Is it really sustainable? It doesn't feel sustainable to me. I don't know who this MP is or what this Labour figure is, for that matter. And the current poll numbers, Reform are on 28.8, Conservatives on 19, Labour on 18, Greens on 14, Lib Dems on 12.7. Lib Dems, Jesus Christ, that's horrible for Lib Dems. This, it says it's the lowest LOESS regression analysis of UK and GB voting intention polls in the UK election data vault. Data weighted by rating samples, just in case you're wondering where I got data from. So, yes, this is something else, because back in 2022, Angela Rayner tweeted out famously saying that the Tories will crown Rishi Sunak without him saying a word about what he would do as PM. He has no mandate, no answers, no ideas. Nobody voted for this. And of course, we can see a repeat of that tweet from another politician, I suppose, if Angela Rayner was to run. If should Starmer resign or quit or be ousted, and she becomes the Prime Minister as well. God help us. Again, but that being said, he's sticking with McSweeney from what I'm being told. This is what's come out from the Starmer camp. I don't think it matters too much. As I said that, I know that, what's the name? Kemi Badenoch said David McSweeney or Starmer's got to go. That don't make any sense to me at all. You should be more aggressive on that and say they both need to go. Because they're both at fault here. Not one or the other. As I said, if you're the person who's been advised by McSweeney and you listen to the advice and you took it and this was happened, then the result, well, that's on you as well. That shows what kind of qualities you have in trusting a guy like that. Okay? So that was all happened. And of course, if she was, of course, to become the leader, then it should be an interesting show when it comes to general election between Angela Rayner versus Nigel Farage. Did you have that on the cards at all in the year 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029? Who had that on the cards? No one. Okay, we'll see if that happens, that works out. But I don't think even Labour want Angela Rayner. I think they'll probably go for someone like Miliband, which is, just as dreadful, quite frankly. But if this is the reason why they haven't got rid of me yet, is because I don't even believe that anyone in the Labour Party right now wants to become leader, because they've seen how horrible it is and strangely find themselves in, because Reeves will have to go as well as Chancellor. If Starmer goes, Reeves is gone as well. She's not going to stick around. I don't see that happening. The recent numbers coming out as well shows the economy is not in good shape at all. We're basically, trying to do a balancing act between interest rates and inflation, right? You can't have it both ways. So yeah, all that's happening. We'll see what comes out of this. And if Starmer goes, I'll break, of course, at any time. But it's not going to happen this week, I think. We'll have to obviously look at next week and see what comes out next time round, because more to come on this story about Mandelson, Starmer, and Epstein.